The Mazda 3 is one of the most praised compact cars on the market right now, but there are 6 very specific reasons why buying one could turn out to be a decision you regret. If you're seriously considering one and you're about to spend anywhere between $25,000 and nearly $38,000, this video is going to save you from a costly mistake. Most people walking into a dealership only see the gorgeous styling and the premium interior, but what they don't see are the real compromises hiding underneath. And those are exactly what we're going to break down today. Number 6. Manual transmission is limited to specific configurations. If there's one thing that separates the Mazda 3 from the sea of generic compact cars out there, it's the fact that a manual transmission is still on the table. 3 pedals, a proper gearbox, and a lightweight chassis. For driving enthusiasts, that combination is genuinely exciting. But here's where reality is going to hit you pretty hard. Mazda is offering the stick shift in only one specific configuration. You're going to be limited to the naturally aspirated 2.5-liter 4-cylinder, paired exclusively with front-wheel drive. Want to combine the manual with the turbocharged engine pushing 250 horsepower? That door is completely closed. Thinking about adding all-wheel drive for extra grip in the rain or snow? Once again, the answer is no. Think about the buyer who's been waiting years to find a compact car that offers a real manual gearbox alongside serious power. The kind of setup that makes a daily commute feel like something worth looking forward to. That buyer is going to discover that Mazda is keeping the turbo engine locked to the automatic. The turbocharged variant is, by a wide margin, the most exciting version of this car, producing 250 horsepower versus 186 in the base engine, and that gap is hard to ignore for anyone who actually cares about driving. Rivals aren't imposing these kinds of restrictions, and that frustration is going to linger well beyond the purchase date. And speaking of frustrations that go beyond the powertrain, wait until you see what the Mazda 3 hatchback is doing with passenger and cargo space. Number 5. Limited passenger and cargo space. The hatchback body style usually signals practicality. A versatile cargo area, decent rear passenger room, flexible loading options. That's the general expectation. But the Mazda 3 hatchback is going to challenge those assumptions pretty quickly. The rear seat is tight. Anyone of average height is going to feel it. When front occupants push their seats back to a comfortable position, rear passengers are going to be left with noticeably less room than in most competing models. Here's a scenario that's going to come up more often than you'd expect. You're heading out on a weekend trip with 2 adults in the back. Within the first hour, someone is shifting around, looking for legroom that simply isn't there. The Mazda 3 hatchback is offering just 20.1 cubic feet of cargo space with the rear seats up. The Honda Civic hatchback is coming in at 24.5 cubic feet. That's a meaningful gap, and it's not just about the numbers. The cargo floor sits lower than expected, and the liftover height is higher, adding unnecessary effort every time you're loading groceries or luggage. Rivals are simply delivering more usable space without sacrificing anything significant. But the tight interior isn't even the most surprising compromise this car is asking you to accept, because the way this hatchback is designed is also going to affect how well you can actually see out of it. Number 4. Poor rearward visibility. There's no question that the Mazda 3 hatchback is one of the best-looking cars in its class. The flowing roofline, the sculptured rear end, the elegant proportions, genuinely striking from every angle. But that design is coming with a real trade-off, and drivers are going to encounter it every single time they try to see what's behind them. The thick C-pillars and the steeply raked rear window are creating significant blind spots. The glass area at the back of this car is small, cutting off sightlines in a way that feels more dramatic than in most competing models. Picture reversing out of a tight parking space, or merging onto a highway with traffic approaching from behind. These are moments where you need confidence, not hesitation. Blind spot monitoring and a rear view camera are part of the package, but those are electronic workarounds for a physical problem. No camera system fully replicates the confidence of actually being able to see clearly out of your vehicle. For older buyers in particular, strong natural visibility matters more than most manufacturers care to acknowledge. The Mazda 3 hatchback's stunning looks are coming at a genuine cost, and you're going to be living with it every single day. So the visibility issue is a real concern, but if you think that's frustrating, the infotainment system is going to test your patience in an entirely different way. Number 3. Not the most intuitive infotainment system around. Most buyers today are arriving at dealerships expecting responsive touchscreens, seamless smartphone integration, and systems that work the way their phones work. The Mazda 3 is going in a noticeably different direction. The screen sits high on the dashboard but is positioned far enough back that reaching it from the driver's seat isn't comfortable. The system is primarily designed around a rotary controller in the center console. Imagine being on an unfamiliar road, needing to adjust navigation quickly. Instead of tapping a screen, you're going back to the rotary knob, working through menus one click at a time. time. And here's the part that tends to catch people off guard. Connect a smartphone via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and the display suddenly gains touch functionality, but only then. Without the phone connected, touchscreen capability largely disappears. It's a design decision that's going to feel strange and counterintuitive, and the learning curve is steeper than it has any right to be. Rivals like the Honda Civic and Hyundai Elantra are offering faster, more logical systems with wireless connectivity as standard. The infotainment system is a daily frustration, but it's not the only place where the Mazda 3 is falling behind rivals in a way that's going to cost you real money over time. Number 2. No hybrid option available. The compact car segment is moving fast. The Toyota Corolla is available as a hybrid. The Honda Civic is offering a hybrid variant. The Hyundai Elantra has one too. Yet the Mazda 3 is heading into the current model year without a single electrified powertrain in the lineup. And that gap is becoming harder to overlook. Mazda's Skyactiv G engines are smooth and dependable. That part isn't in dispute. But consider what fuel costs are actually looking like annually. A buyer covering 15,000 miles a year in city traffic is going to spend considerably more on fuel in a Mazda 3 than in a Corolla Hybrid. The Corolla Hybrid is achieving up to 47 miles per gallon combined. The Mazda 3's naturally aspirated engine is returning around 29 to 30 combined. With fuel prices remaining unpredictable, that difference is going to translate to hundreds of dollars every year, and thousands over a typical ownership period. That's money staying in someone else's wallet, not yours. Missing out on a hybrid option will hit your wallet at the pump, but what's going to hit you physically every single day is something most people don't discover until well after the test drive. Number 1. Firm ride. This one is going to matter most for buyers spending real time behind the wheel every day. The Mazda 3 has always leaned toward athleticism over comfort. Its suspension is calibrated for precision and body control, not cushioning, and that philosophy is going to show up every single time the road gets rough. The rear suspension relies on a torsion beam design, cost-effective and space-efficient, but one that tends to feel reactive over broken pavement. On smooth highways, it's perfectly manageable, but take it over a pothole or a series of uneven expansion joints, and the cabin is going to transmit every bit of that discomfort directly to the occupants. Think about a typical winter morning. 40 minutes of urban commuting, rough asphalt, and expansion joints every few hundred feet. That stiff rear end is going to be felt with every one of them. The Honda Civic is delivering a more composed, more forgiving ride over the same surfaces. The Volkswagen Jetta is tuned for a noticeably more relaxed highway feel. The Mazda 3 is sitting at the firm end of the spectrum, and while that earns praise from driving enthusiasts, it's a different story for someone dealing with that commute twice a day, 5 days a week. A short test drive on smooth dealer lot roads is not going to reveal this, but weeks of daily driving on real roads certainly will. And by then, the decision is already made. The Mazda 3 is genuinely one of the most impressive compact cars in its class, but it comes with compromises. A manual transmission locked to a single configuration, a rear seat that's going to disappoint on longer trips, visibility that trades safety confidence for good looks, an infotainment system that works against you instead of for you, no hybrid option, while nearly every rival is already offering one, and a ride quality that's going to remind you every morning that this car was built for a test track, not your commute. These aren't minor inconveniences. They are daily realities that don't show up during a 15-minute test drive, but will absolutely show up during 3 years of ownership. So, Mazda 3 can be either an impressive or disappointing car depending on your preferences. If you happen to like its strengths and can live with the drawbacks we just talked about, then you definitely want to check out our video that explains the key updates for this model year. Mazda continues to refine its dynamic hatchback, making sure it remains the most engaging option in its class.